Good morning, viewers, and welcome to a new episode of your program we're in a Salone Morning Discoveries with me, Konnah Sesay. Well, viewers, today inside the studios are there with the Executive Director for Campaign for Human Rights and Development International, Wena Abdul Fatoma, for talk on the campaign for the 1991 Constitutional Review and other issues we get for do with human rights violations. Don't forget, say yourself can add your own voice to the program by way where you go send message on our Facebook page. Good day to you, sir, and welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
All right. You go give me a brief background about CHRDI and also what are some of the roles and responsibilities of CHRDI.
All right. We're a social policy advocacy organization.
Okay.
We hold GTBRs accountable for their actions, and also we do research and education on human rights and social policy issues in Sierra Leone.
All right. Over the years, we on our institution don't they operate. What are some of the operations then we wanna don't they carry out?
We don't do a lot. We don't do a lot of policy advocacy for social changes then,
Okay.
and that happened at the health sector, the Kiama Road renovation and the Rokupa Macaulay Street. There was a time we pulled out a research document where say devastating health condition in the western area, and these are hospitals that will be highlight. The refrigerator will show up in some community health centers and like Dwaza community and other places.
Okay.
That may be born out of that, and as well the Mabutu protocol for women's issues. You know, we get for push the ratification policy and urge the Sierra Leone government by them, the previous administration, and then be able to ratify that and give a strong hope and signal, you know, for the right of women in this country.
Okay.
Then we also fast track. We don't do several things, like we also facilitate for the free, for the release of over 600, you know, detainees. We not get indictment paper the correctional centers across the country, because we will do another research. We'll find out say there are several people waiting at detention for over 7 years. We not get, you know, indictment, you know, document. We for sure say that this crime they commit when they for go court, but then just in a detention facility, they languish.
Okay.
You know, so when we do that, the legal aid board and the judiciary look into, you know, that very release, and then when they do a call over, you know, they're able to find out say over 600 people will be needing no actually get no business. Then people then they be able to get them freedom. The other one, you talk about statistics Sierra Leone, where the government of Sierra Leone be terminate over 400 people. Then, you know, then they cry out for the terminal benefit, and then go out to several state institutions, the ombudsman, the human rights, legal aid board. They not be able to get, you know, the justice way they may require. So when they visit with organization, then we work out with them. We do a press conference and we give government ultimatum. Then people then they begin to get them pay. Other several people that benefit from that, from NCRA, from, you know, NATCOM, and several other, you know, government institutions where we don't determinate. We also they fight for human rights and equality in the financial sector and fight against corruption. We also take on the Sierra Leone Parliament, you know, in terms of for them being, you know, open up in transparent manner and also being accountable to the people there. So after several years in this country, when we launched that campaign in 2016, that was the first time MP then they hand their money over to them constituency and call journalists and for tell them say, when I look on the money this way then give me. So I will on a set up committee But prior before that, nothing like that, absolutely not be done, they happen.
Okay.
You know, the Lincoln Queen student issues, the demonstration where they began at Contitri, where they be arrested, several others. Will provide legal assistance for, 15 of them. And also, we also don't champion the release of several civil society leaders and way, government don't clamp on.
All right. You don't mention some things they wanna don't do where people will say na achievements them. Let me talk about obstacles to their achievements then they.
The challenges, Sierra Leone are a very different community for run a NGO oversee them we call it charity.
Okay.
Because NGO per se non-governmental, so you not for rely on government support because our government is the checkmate. You want for see waiting government they do if they in the right place for the people that way government supposed to serve as per the law of the country. So normally in other countries and philanthropists they provide support for their NGOs and the Amnesty International, Save the Children, Plan International, Catford. Now people that they give, not the government they give them money for let them even care. Now business people, them sports people, them musicians and other people they no more way if you say, okay, me the right of women they not be heart. So my own salary where they pay me, the way they give you tied to church, certain amount they go to, organization where they fight for women the right, organization where they fight for picking the right, organization where they fight for disabled people the right, or me money they go towards animal rights issues. That are the way where they do. So their organizations and they able for stand firm and take on government. But a country like this, the common people understands it maybe based on the poverty perception or ideas. People believe say the moment you get NGO, you're not money man. So the common man don't need again, for assist the cause the way they do. Either now for raise awareness, for let that community get light, for let that community get water, for let that community get street lights, street pump and other things. People care less about those things. So I mean that are one big challenge. Then within a country where people believe say if you they criticize government, you're not a critical person, you're not an enemy to so many of that government they in supporters that very political party in supporters.
Okay.
So these are all huge challenges, in order for let you meet you go. And they get you deprived in several things. And we have been, a victim of such because we raise corruption issues against certain institutions.
So the obstacles they come up from the political angle, from the citizens
community
themselves, the communities as a whole. All right. Let we talk about them people we wanna fight for, be it that wanna human rights activists them. Let me talk about how they do for reach on to the people, because when you fight for somebody, the person gets for know the reasons why you they advocate on in behalf. How they do for make the people and get for know some of their rights and responsibilities.
Well, I mean, like I said earlier on, when you ask for the organization, we not only they provide human rights protection,
okay,
but we also provide human rights education. This another, golden opportunity for tell people that say there is a right, there is a responsibility, and several people they listen this. And sometimes other media outlet then when they give you the opportunity for them to talk to the nation through the platform. And we also talked about right and responsibility. So people get to know about we maybe through the media, because if we don't work with the media, nobody not go see the work what they do. So that's the reason why always we in a campaign for human rights and development international believe say the media are one of we strong partner, in order for that we propel we work go any further.
All right. As somebody who done the campaign for the protection of human rights in Sierra Leone, how you go rate Sierra Leone in terms when you get to do with human rights violations?
But the very law way that we parental law we not the constitution Australian and AFAN self not human right friendly at all not. So that alone give we a chilly guarantee that say we human rights, they're under threat in this country. And when you also look at several other laws like the 1965 Public Order Act, the 1964 Police Act, the Criminal Proceedings Act, the larceny. These are all, laws that way they're not friendly to human rights at all. Not. And we still get them, very active. We cut they still listen references from, their laws there where they refer to. So, like, for example, we get law we say education are compulsory and picking all Sierra Leone picking for go school. But the Constitution also places a bar, say, a not justiciable, meaning if the government fail for provide school na dwazak, you as a citizen of this country, you cannot take the government to court and say, why you fail for provide school for we picking them. You deprive them access to education, na dwazak community, na New England community. I mean, you will not get the right for even approach the court on that grounds. But even though the secondary law, when a legislation, when an act, it give you that, but the Constitution not guarantee. So meaning, your right to education in this country not guarantee. Your right to housing not guarantee. Your right to several social and economic rights-based issues. The Constitution don't make them guarantee. Okay. When a fundamental human rights issues there. So, I mean, that's very clear. And, immediately for me, I go parliament. From another thing where we law book, where they threaten you the other fundamental rights, when you right to life, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, when I be the death penalty, that if you commit a crime, one of your capital punishment, that for take away your life.
All right, we go come and talk about the death penalty and get to know your own view concerning that day. But then let we talk about the violation of human rights, especially we get for do with women the own sector, be it physically, emotionally, sexual abuse, What in una own take on them? How you go get them in salon and what you think about that?
Well, we don't take on that very clear. Like I said earlier on, we already done at this country. The laws that are this country don't make we human rights really guaranteed and protected.
Okay.
A lawyer will tell you, say, chapter 3 of the constitutions, they talks about the Universal Declaration, you right to movement, this and that, but in a very scanty form. But what about the social and economic rights? Are they not also equal to any other fundamental right with the constitution they promote? So women's rights issues, the safeguarding issues for the protection of women and children in this country. We don't make a lot of efforts in terms of, putting up legislations and coming up with policies, but the transformation of that policy into law and also the enforceability of those laws, it become challenging thing for we. Because some of them think that they also need a financial support. Like for example, now we don't get a safe home for women the way they face domestic violence or domestic abuse, or other things. Like in other advanced countries, if you say you don't feel safe that your husband is host or your partner is host, the council or the government, they provide a safe home for you where not only you know the address, but none of your family member until they know say their family members the way they come close to you, then they make your life safe. But anybody with a threat to your life, then they also exclude them away from you. So you then a very safer home, where you feel maybe the home will be the most facility the way you they face down at this temporary shelter accommodation, a more better than outside you been there. So not only for take you away from abusive things, then also provide counseling for you. I mean, when you go FSU, they see recklessly police officers and they tell you, say, if for behave yourself, if for subdue yourself to the man, this 50-50 year old are they fed for. very unprofessional way of doing those things. And so when you look at that, it shows that, say, even though we don't make progress, but we don't make significant gains yet,
Okay.
you know, as the way how best we will protect and promote the right of women in this country.
All right. Well, you talk about the right to movement, and if one can remember well, during the first lockdowns we get, videos will go viral of police brutality, especially where people they come out for fetch water in the morning or in the evenings. Una your own take towards them day. You feel say such an act now way of violating the right?
We put out a statement during the first and second lockdown. We pull out a policy paper called Justice Under Lockdown. We capture all of these things that we usually highlight. You look at Sierra Leone, like I've been telling you, say the laws and the policies that we get not really able for guarantee of right. At this 21st century, no home now, no for suffer for get access to safe drinking water.
Okay.
But even you see the most luxurious side of this country, the rich side like Spur Road, now inside gutter and they get water. Yeah. We still not get access to clean and stable electricity inside the capital. You know, where the power, everything, the businesses, they hold the hub of the country economy, you know, and governance operation. But still with the struggle for getting clean and stable electricity. So when we've been doing the lockdown, it was necessary globally to international law and international standards that in the interest of public health emergency, for protect other lives, the government can come with emergency measures. But we, not the human rights field, we always think, say, and we believe, say, government, when they come with their measures and they therefore tailor within the human rights framework, like a measure will go guarantee you, go assure you of your right. But if water not there in that pan, but did that bulldoze or that cement us, then you say let somebody there na us for 3 good days. Water na life. We do several things with water. We do clean in the first place and during the day. So if then people that they don't get water where they go inside a compound, or you go there, you tap, you open, you guarantee of getting water, then you know then definitely the people that may get for force will come out, you know, for can ensure say they get access to water, then go able for sustain themselves and continue for guarantee themselves say them will in a very more stronger health till the lockdown pass. So then human rights violations from the police, these are things that will be highlighted. The human rights violations from the court depriving people to get access to justice, these are things that will be highlighted. And the government position in also so you see that say when human rights organizations and we talk, you see the second day government begin to go supply water, even provide food and other things. Because we get a lot of people in a hand to mouth survivor at this country. You know, when you look at this country economy, the smaller economy, it's about waiting and make for the day. Then maybe picking and go eat. So you see that say the businesses are not getting any growth. Because the day we eat 0.5% of the profit. So the other money where they left, and for I go buy and can replace back.
Okay. To your statement where you they make, notice you they talk more vulnerable people. You know, how don't they do for tackle down some violations where they happen with people who are vulnerable, be it with people where they struggle with deafness, with dumbness, people who are not able to work, you know, then people where they live on the street. How don't they do for help them?
I mean, we human rights document them with press release, with policy papers, a cut across, and urging government for promote, protect, and fulfill the right of all Sierra Leonean citizens. Because we not get a particular class who they advocate for. We advocate for everybody. We advocate for the rich, the poor, and the middle class people.
Okay.
So the disabled people, them people that we get a very high challenge in this country, even though we get a disability act in this country. But like I said earlier on, the enforceability of the laws the way we they do, then the resources for letting institutions the way go help the full implementation and realizations of the laws, and they fall short.
Right.
Now, if you go to disabled commissions, then they tell you about how, constraints that they with resources,
Okay.
in order for let the commission itself work. Like if we come into this building, for example, now, a disabled person get right for complain the owner of this building.
Okay.
Because you don't get ramp for let, a wheelchair person come up. And the moment you don't do that, you don't discriminate against people with disability for access to this building.
So what you not only do for address the issue then?
We raise concern. We not, like I said earlier on, we are social policy advocacy organization. We don't work now for advocate.
All right, Famble, not forget say the program we listen and watch right now. Na Salone Morning Discoveries with me, Konnah Sesay, and I get with me Abdul Fatoma, we are the executive director for Campaign for Human Rights and Development International, and he come for talk about the violations where people can normally go through we get for do with the human rights, and also the campaign for the 1991 constitutional review. Remember, so you can add your own voice to the program by way where you go send message or comments through our Facebook page on live. We talk about the campaign for the 1991 constitutional review. Somebody go wonder why campaign for review?
Well, we see and say it highly necessary because, like I tell you yesterday, both politicians and non-politicians, we as a country, we see and say it highly necessary for let we review with constitution and correct certain things that we no actually right for we. We want for be guaranteed by we own constitution say my life na Sierra Leone is guaranteed by the constitution of Sierra Leone. Me freedom of movement, me freedom of association, me right to express my view, my opinion, is protected and guaranteed by the constitution.
Okay.
The 1991 constitution is actually born out of the 1978 constitution, when there be a republican constitution, there be one party, there be like a dictator, everything there in your hand. So that very 1978 constitution, now in be give the president the power for appoint the chief electoral commissioner. Mind you, now they organize elections, for appoint the ombudsman, for appoint the chief justice, for appoint the local ACC, human rights commissioners. In other countries, they were done very progressive. The president they appoint the chief justice, because when you look at the chief justice in position, now it cannot be equally, but the three arms. The president at the head for the executive arm, the speaker at the head for the legislative, so the chief justice at the head for the judiciary. Okay. So these three arms, and then they run the country, governance affairs.
All right, so separation for being within the
powers. Yes. So, but when you look at president, when it comes to the judiciary, we get a pivotal role for play in democracy. Now, president, they appoint the chief justice. But then if there is any misconduct or this, that, the president get a right, according to the same constitution, for constitute a committee for look into the conduct of that chief justice. And that committee for report back, and that report then take to parliament. So like, if I didn't have this source, I didn't have the power. Then I say that you room, if you not clean at the setup people, then they do. That means if I don't want you in that room, the committee will set up, you can't do anything.
Well, another school of thought could talk say, beats that the president gets such a right, then he still get the power away on the try for be separated.
No, listen, nobody not say president not get right. What we
Okay.
want for reduce now the excessive power, too much power, we one great man get, what
Okay.
the president get. If any president at this country today say they use the power where the constitution get, I mean, we are in total trouble.
All right. So how this gift for be of benefit to the common citizen out there?
It gets so much benefit when we, like, me and you two, right to assembly, right to freedom of expression. You can see, say, even though the chapter 3 of the constitution talk about this, freedom of association, right to assembly, expression, but we get a 1965 act where the moment when anything happen, the political will believe in that and use the police as a surrogate for clamp down on people.
Okay.
Even now, if me and you two want for demonstrate, the police they refer to the 1965 Public Order Act for denying me and you two say we don't go demonstrate for that thing way that we write or we campaign for let that good thing can. If the government of the day say and say that common that they come embarrassing, they disgrace the government, they disgrace the country according to their own belief system,
Okay.
the police go deny you. If you forcefully come out and campaign, riotous conduct, and other things from the 1965, you did a CID, Fatoma Road Detention Facility, court, you languish there. And the arbitrary arrest, the unlawful detention of people wait for a long time, that detention before trial, the McKinney issues, they spend over 12 months before ever they bail them, right? And you still get several other people within detention without proper records across the country. And the ratio of the detainees and the correctional staffs they were too big.
All right. Well, let me talk about how far una don't go now with the campaign.
The campaign we there on them, it don't be a long time where we there on them don't generate interest, and the interest able for create an opportunity for the Sierra Leoneans away they live outside of Sierra Leone. There is a need for them also add their own effort, their voice, and their interest to that campaign by sponsoring the sticker printing, and as well now they can do 2 pole signposts. They call it the solar pole signpost, one at Kissy Road and one at the west. Currently, hopefully today the agent and we able to tell we say either we will get one pole na Kiama Road or the Congo Cross. So since na 2 currently we they do first.
All right.
So we able to get support from the Sierra Leoneans by using a network platform.
Okay.
From that platform, they're able to generate them funds and and then we also raise this issue several times at several quarters to the president himself. Now, public meetings, we always ask direct questions to the president about the status of the constitutional review process. Tell we say the AG go work between the previous AG. Not be agree really for giving any clear update, and this current AG in deputy be able for giving a clear update that say the white paper the cabinet level, then they work on that, and very soon it will come out. But we looking at the time frame now. Possibility now they say we will get a constitutional review before 2023, because constitutional review process entails a lot. We get for go for referendum, and we get elections ahead of we 2022 or 2023. So if you say they do referendum, just like election, and therefore provide ballot box, then all with voting center for ask Sierra Leoneans, and you they in favor for law change the 1991 constitution, yes or no. So then carry that result they back and say, okay, we don't go across the country, we don't do the referendum. The majority of the people say they don't want constitutional review. The majority of the people say they want constitutional review. We can put every effort, even the review process will be not go on, where government and then development partners and don't spend a lot.
Okay.
But the thing therefore come back to we the citizens during the referendum, the yes or no. We want for change the 1991 constitution, yes. We don't want that, no.
Yeah.
So that result then they determine the actual fate. Yeah.
Okay. Let we talk about the penalty, the death penalty bill, where the debate in the parliament. What in your take on that?
That's what we've done the campaign for quite a long time, and we're excited for see that because no sign of in the world where they're able to tell we say where person kill, you kill the person back, they stop for let another man not kill again. We're not able to see that yet.
Okay, but somebody go say it's been a while now since they no use the act day, so why make una the pursue for
the fact that it is still a threat. Very recently a judge, sentenced somebody by death by hanging. So the judges then still they use that discretion. So the fact that they still guarantee you say they can use that against you.
All right.
Some killing in the way that happen and not done intentionally, done by accident. Then if they take your life, it shows nothing absolutely. And where will they kill people then because they kill, and they bring more losses to the country than you prison them people then. Let's say like South Africa, for example, they put Mandela, a treason trial, they put Mandela on death row and on death penalty and kill Mandela. The unification in Mandela bring now the world. And the example we're able for Setsy, if somebody do me bad and need for accommodate that person, bring her to the community, we live together, work together, and change the narrative. Several other people, like I said now in that case, several people they accidentally kill their parent there based on the gun they will be available at the house or the night. So they left them picking and they're able for refine and change. Then picking and they now go back to community and teach people them about forgiveness and how they for love one another, and tell other people and say something will go take you my life, you find life, no way for play with at the home. So it helps save several other lives. But if they be kill them picking a day, trust me, that awareness not they expand. So because of we believe say there is no evidence which should say if you kill somebody because you kill person, that they make killing stop. So we believe say death penalty not good. You need for imprison somebody for a particular number of years. Yeah.
All right. Be that it don't take so long now, we the debate don't they go on. What do you feel saying that the most challenging obstacle way they stop this bill for go through?
Because it be political. When you look at most of we brutal executions that we don't take place at this country. That's the way they feel say they more overthrow government. So even they don't succeed for overthrow that government, but they can face the gun, tie them to drum and open gun fire for them, and they die like that.
All right, we will take few comments and message where you don't come inside the program, and then we will come back and respond to them. This one where they come out from George Orwell, they say, this is one of the most credible civil society activists in Sierra Leone. Keep it up, Mr. Fatoma, and thank you, Sierra Network. This one from Abdul Bundu Conte, they say, referendum go for where? This other one, they say, keep it up, guys. This na a very good one. And Christiana Eminduring, they say, may God have mercy upon civil society, guys. And this other one, they say, the volume needs to go up because you guys are doing a great job. Any comments there for the comments where people drop now the program?
First of all, we just get to appreciate them all for their effort, even for listening, and also appreciate them for their comment. They also the one where they wish we for let God have mercy on we. We appreciate that as well, and we also appreciate the one that we recognize we work.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Finally, before you left, we, as a civil society activist, what are some of the recommendations where you go give as in for help tap the violation of human rights?
Well, when you look at this country, the Constitution again give much interest and effort to we right to participate in political activities. So when you look at that dynamics, we way of thinking that this country is all politics.
Okay.
Even we style way of eating is politics. We style way of dress, it comes with politics. We do business with politics. Let me come to the business. The moment you see say APC come on power, several shops are locked down. And you see new shops that open.
Okay.
Because the way we believe, say, we business for align with political party. In other countries, like America, for example, America now they loan money from IMF and World Bank. America they loan money from the businesses. They call it domestic borrowing. Because the businesses determine which political party will fit for them, where they make them business viable freely without their interference into it. But we allow politics for enter into the way of living, even the way for do business. Now you want to construct market, then they look at during rally, how many Abacha women will come up for APC or SLPP. So if they fall take care of Abacha street, they say, but law left them, the way APC be, they waiting and do for them. Law left them, the way SLPP be, they waiting and do for them. The moment you see, the lady way they talk the language of that political party, then they become the chair lady. We see nothing wrong at that setting, but we see that the way we know they grow is the way we think.
Okay. So
that's a huge challenge, even when it comes to fighting the right. Like I tell you, some people then they go complain at the office. So when we highlight, say, okay, now with the right official letter, second, if we not get reply, we call a press conference, we embarrass this government about the situation on human rights violations like this. Now people can't complain we right. I mean, I then can't complain to we right. And in the course of we work, then they can say, Mr. Fatoma, me I not think say we want for do that other thing where he say this that we party. We will go suffer at party level. But then they suffer. And they say no. So you get people then when they take the matter up for the court, then they withdraw the matter and say no. Me no allow take this government to court because a bad thing I will party. These are the same people we can complain government. Same people, same police officer go tell you say we dey talk no more, we condition not good. But when you take out, you go find out who left them because this bad thing and we don't party this now they in power. This is how they happen at this country.
Okay.
You know, for a long time ago, where we dey interface with these people, the only genuine people the way we dey fight for till to the last, that people the way not get that thought of party. We don't fight for widows them. When the man they die, people then take them property then at their hand. We able for fight for let them property then they return back. You know, they're not even kind of political business. We don't fight with ministers wey use the ministerial power but take advantage over citizens. Even Supreme Court judges, issues and the way people that they can't complain to, where Supreme Court judges and get we they work on the issues, they pull their hands off, until we get justice. Right. So we get several issues that way like citizens that they can't complain to we. If they see youth man then go come together and say, government they treat we fine this particular subject, blah blah blah. When you engage them furthermore, if not then 10, 5 they drop first. As you go back, another 3 drop. Then the 1 or 2 we don't survive, they tell you say, brah, if you compete, they all become, you don't pull out. This at the left hand, the advantage where the left hand. It ends that. So we need the people that cooperation.
Okay.
Collectively now we're able to fight. Countries that we don't survive in holding the government accountable and getting the government in the right footing. It's not only the civil society people, it's also the citizens that work with them people then. Okay. But now if like you call demonstration, you go see that only people that we get an opposing view to the government and few independent people they come in. Even that people that they suffer in that community, but just because they associate themselves with the very political party we go there in power, then they starve that sufferness, full hand, full foot. Development of the community, they will never voice it out. They accept it as it is because that them party they in power.
And then political party.
And then political party they in power.
Okay. So finally, what's the message where you go left for viewers them out there, not for allow politics for hinder the growth of Sierra Leone?
It's all about peace and love. If you love yourself, you're able to love the other man. If you're at peace with yourself, you're able to ensure that the other man live in peace.
All right. Plenty thank you for you joining me inside the program today. Well, viewers, now we go bring the cutting can down for the program today. And always remember say, the program where you just listen and watch now, Salone Morning Discoveries with me, Konnah Sesay, and not forget to subscribe so that you self could get the program anytime we will release them. Until we meet again, ta-ta.
Sierra Network is the network that bridges the gap between the diasporas and those within Sierra Leone by providing authentic and factual news on a daily basis.
We at Sierra Network Salone take pride in quality and productivity is our utmost priority in service delivery to the communities we serve.
We expect professionalism at all times.
Our service to the people of Sierra Leone is paramount in what we do.
We constantly strive for innovation and the best that meets the demands of the people in Sierra Leone.
Our passion and creativity oversees the work we produce.
We work as a team to provide you the best in news, media, comedy, entertainment, and all your event coverages.
Sierra Network is here to offer you the best.
We engage the people to learn about Sierra Leone's culture and history.
This is Triple A from Sierra Network.
This is Dr. Aissatou Kake Jallo from Sierra Network Health Talk and Discoveries.
This is Ishmael Dadis Bangura from Sierra Network Comedy and Production.
This is Abib Kaloko from Sierra Network Media.
This is Sila Kemtakabu from Sierra Network Media.
This is Aissatou Sesay from Sierra Network Talk to the Camera.
This is Konnah Sesay from Sierra Network Talk to the Camera.
This is Samuel Bright from Sierra Network Media.
This is Mohamed Eskagbo from Sierra Network Production and Comedy.
This is Justice A.M. Tijan from Sierra Network Media.
This is Salema Sukaki from Sierra Network Tell Me Salone.
Sierra Network Salone, where Sierra Leone is never too far, at 56 Campbell Street, 2nd floor, Freetown, Sierra Leone. You can call us at +232 77 42 5637 or +1 646 610 3107 or visit us on the web at snradio.net or sncfny.org.